What's happening behind the scenes? What was supposed to be just another grueling training session turned into a nightmare for one of BTS's most beloved members. Was it the cold winter that caused it? Or something deeper lurking under the surface? On the evening of January 19th, a tragic incident unfolded at a remote military training camp, leaving the members of BTS shattered. Jungkook, the youngest member of the group, was rushed to the hospital after an alarming collapse during a winter training exercise. The news, which initially circulated as a mere rumor, quickly became the subject of worldwide concern as BTS fans, known as ARMY, anxiously awaited updates. What the fans didn't expect, however, was the emotional toll the incident would have on the entire group. Jungkook had been participating in an extreme winter training session, a requirement for all South Korean male citizens who are serving mandatory military service. The training, which takes place in the harsh conditions of the mountains, is known for its physical and mental strain on the soldiers, but it was supposed to be manageable for someone as strong as Jungkook. What the world didn't know was that his condition was deteriorating in ways no one could have predicted as the evening wore on. A series of unsettling events began to unfold. Jungkook's body, which had previously been in peak condition, seemed to falter under the weight of the grueling exercises. Despite the medical team's immediate attention, the situation only worsened. What happened? Was the training too intense for him, or had there been underlying health issues no one knew about? Behind every member of BTS is a complex human being. Jungkook, in particular, had always been the strongest and most resilient in the group. He was known for pushing himself beyond limits and consistently putting his best foot forward for the sake of his fans and his group. His cheerful personality, powerful vocals, and athletic prowess had earned him the admiration of millions. But the reality of the situation painted a much darker picture. When the other members, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, and V, arrived at the hospital, their faces were etched with worry and fear. It was clear that they were struggling to come to terms with what was happening to their youngest member. They had seen each other through thick and thin over the years, but nothing could prepare them for the sight of Jungkook's weak and frail condition. As the evening passed, tears flowed freely. Members who had always maintained a strong front for their fans now found themselves emotionally undone. RM, the leader of the group, struggled to hold back his tears, his face a mixture of pain and disbelief. "It's like we're losing him," he whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. Suga, who had always been the more reserved member, couldn't hide his sorrow. "We never imagined something like this could happen," he said, staring out the window of the hospital room. "We've been through so much together, and this feels like it's something we can't control." But it wasn't just the physical toll that was alarming. The mental and emotional strain on the members was palpable. Jimin, usually known for his bright smile, was visibly distraught. His normally upbeat demeanor had been replaced with deep worry and sadness. "This is hard. It's hard to see Jungkook like this," Jimin admitted. "He's always been the one to lift us up when we're down. Now we just want to do the same for him." What the public didn't know at first was that the winter training had been far more extreme than the usual exercises performed by conscripts. The temperature had dipped to dangerously low levels that night, and the training had extended well beyond the standard hours. According to eyewitness accounts from soldiers on the scene, the cold conditions were so severe that several members of the group had already shown signs of exhaustion and fatigue by the time the incident occurred. Jungkook's collapse came after a series of physically demanding drills that had left his body weakened. Despite his high stamina and resilience, even he couldn't escape the toll of the extreme conditions. When he was evacuated from the camp and transported to the hospital, the severity of his condition became apparent. Doctors later confirmed that Jungkook had suffered from severe exhaustion and hypothermia, exacerbated by a pre-existing condition that no one had previously known about. Was it the brutal training or something more? Jungkook had reportedly been pushing himself to his limits in recent weeks, preparing for his mandatory service while still trying to keep up with BTS's demanding schedule. Fans had noticed subtle signs of fatigue in the youngest member during recent performances, but no one had expected this. As the world waited for updates, the question on everyone's mind was, why hadn't anyone noticed the signs before? How could the group, who had spent so many years together, not realize that Jungkook was struggling? The members were quick to address these questions. admitting that they had all been so focused on their individual duties and responsibilities that they hadn't seen the warning signs. "We never imagined this could happen to him," said J-Hope, his voice trembling. "Jungkook's always been so strong, always the one looking after us. We thought he was fine. We didn't know what he was hiding from us." But the most shocking revelation came from the camp itself. According to a source close to the military, Jungkook had been dealing with a private health issue that he had kept hidden from everyone, including his bandmates. The nature of the illness is still unclear, but it's been suggested that it may have contributed to his weakened state during the training. The news hit ARMY hard. Fans from all corners of the globe flooded social media with messages of support for Jungkook and the rest of BTS. The hashtag #PrayForJungkook trended worldwide, with millions of fans sending their love and encouragement as ARMY continues to rally behind Jungkook. The members of BTS find themselves grappling with a mixture of fear, guilt, and helplessness. They have always been the shining beacon of hope for their fans, but now they're faced with the painful reality that even the strongest among them are vulnerable. "I just want him to be okay," V said quietly, his voice barely audible. "I can't imagine a world without him." Despite the emotional turmoil, there is still hope. Jungkook's doctors have expressed optimism about his recovery, citing his youth and resilience as key factors in his potential for a full recovery. The rest of BTS has promised to stand by him every step of the way, offering their unwavering support during this difficult time. The group's management has also released a statement reassuring fans that Jungkook is receiving the best possible care and that they will provide updates as soon as they can. "We are grateful for the outpouring of love and support from ARMY, and we promise that we will do everything in our power to help Jungkook recover," the statement read. The members of BTS, who have been through so much together, are now united in their mission to support Jungkook and help him regain his strength. But for now, they're taking it one day at a time, hoping for the best while grappling with the emotional weight of what has happened. The next few weeks will be critical for Jungkook's recovery. While his physical condition is improving, the mental and emotional toll on both him and the group cannot be understated. The incident has served as a stark reminder of the pressures that come with being a global superstar, as well as the fragility of the human body. For BTS, the path forward is uncertain, but one thing is clear: they will face it together. And with the support of their fans, BTS will continue to rise above every challenge, no matter how difficult the journey may be.